what's up guys? This is Richard again for another edition of Learning with Rich. So for today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to create zones. Okay? So in Revit, you create zones that represent areas served by one piece of mechanical equipment. So properly defined zones allows you to size the equipment based on the cumulative information of the spaces grouped within a zone. So each zone contains information about heating and cooling temperatures and outdoor air. So this information is used by Revit during heating and cooling loads analysis to determine the energy demands of the building. So creating zones is very important because it's part of your heating and cooling loads calculation. All right. Okay, so last topic, I have discussed how to create spaces. Now I'm going to teach you how to create zone. So zones consist of one or more spaces. So that's why in this exercise, I already created spaces, right? Because zones consist of one or more spaces that are controlled by mechanical equipment such as RTU, AHU, or chilled beam to maintain a common environment such as the temperature and humidity. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm going to teach you how to create zone. Okay, so the zone tool can be found on your Analyze tab. If you go to Analyze tab, this one, so you will see here your zone tool. Alright, so this is the zone tool, sorry. It defines HVAC zones within a project. So in this exercise, I'm going to create HVAC zone by assigning existing spaces to the zones. And I'm going to create also spaces to be assigned to a new zone. Alright, okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is, you see these three spaces, okay, the archive, washing room, and washing room. So I'm going to create one zone here. For example, these three spaces will be controlled by one piece of mechanical equipment. So I'm going to select here zone. Okay, so I select the zone. And then just make sure add space is selected. Anyway, it is already selected by default. So add space means we're going to select space. Okay, so I'm going to select the space here. This one. Okay, make sure you select the space. And you select the space here. There you go. So I now have selected the three rooms or the three spaces. So after that, you can specify here the name of your zone. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm going to key in there. For example, this zone will be controlled by one piece of mechanical equipment. So let's say I'm going to call it AHU-1. Okay, so for example, that is the equipment that will control this zone. So after that, I'm going to select Finish Editing Zone. There you go. So I just created a one zone here. And if you notice, if you click the zone, so you will be able to see the property of the zone here. Okay, so the dimension, and then the energy analysis, you can change this when you do before you work on your heating and cooling load calculation. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to make another zone. So let's say this is another zone for me. These four spaces, it will be controlled by one piece of mechanical equipment again. I'm going to call it AHU2. Alright, so to start creating zone again from the Analyze tab, so I'm going to select the zone tool. Okay, and then I'm going to select the space here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And then you will notice automatically the name of my zone follows the first name that I have created. So it becomes AHU2. Alright, then I'm going to select here Finish Editing Zone. There you go. Okay, so in this exercise that I did, the spaces are already created, right? And then I selected those spaces to create my zone. So on the next part of the exercise, I'm going to create new spaces within a zone. Okay, new spaces within a zone. So I'm going to select level 2 HVAC plan. Okay, and then let's say, for example, I'm going to create one zone here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, but then again, for you to be able to create zone, you need to create spaces, right? Because zone, it is consists of one or more spaces. So what I'm going to do is, instead of selecting space, which is what I did from my last exercise, I have teach you how to create a space. So instead of selecting this, so I'm going to select here the zone tool. Okay, so zone tool. So after that, since I don't have any space to select here, while I am in the zone tool, I'm going to select back the analyze tab. And as you can see, the space tool is enable. So I'm going to select the space tool, and then for the upper limit, so I already discussed this during my last exercise on how to create spaces. So in the space, so you need to specify the upper limit. So let's say from level 2 up to level 2 plenum without an offset distance. So meaning to say the space that I'm going to create will be from level 2 up to level 2 plenum. Alright, so I'm now going to select this. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So after I create the space, if I go back to the edit zone tool here, and then I finish it, you will notice the zone is already created, right? So after I create the space, also the zone created. There you go. So this is my AHU number 3. All right. There you go. So that's how you create is a zone in Revit Mep 2017. Okay. And if you want to add, let's say for example, you want to add the color scheme legend for your zone. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open, for example, the HVAC zone here, the section that was created for this exercise. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to place the color fill legend. So I select color fill legend. I select this. And then after that, I'm going to place it here. There you go. And then for the space type, I'm going to make sure that HVAC zones is selected. Okay. And then after that, I select OK. There you go. Okay. So if you want to modify your color fill legend, you can just select that, and then you can select here edit scheme. There you go. And then you can change the color here, and you can also change here the pattern. Like for example, I want the color blue, I want the color red, and color yellow. Okay, then I select OK. There you go. Right? So that's how you create a zone. So it is very important, especially if you want to run the heating and cooling load calculation in Revit. Okay? Alright, so hopefully you learned something from this video. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions or comments, so you can put it on the section, comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. You can also download this awesome application that is called QuipSpear, and you can follow me. And after you follow me, you just have to send a quip to me, and I'm going to follow you also. So from that application, you can communicate to me directly. Okay, so you can check out the tutorial on how to install the QuipSpear on the description of this video. Alright, so once again, this is Richard from Learning with Rich, and until then, you all stay handsome and beautiful. Bye bye. And And